No more Netflix and chill. We are entering the era of Disney Plus and trust. Yo, YouTube, welcome back.
And there he is. That is Comic-Jon.
I am your director of distraction, your coordinator of confusion, John Hassinger.
Of the Comic-Jon channel. Subscribe and like him on these links right here. The question, John, that the world has tonight is, of course...
Are you one of the 10 million who joined the death of physical media? We are.
I am one of... Yeah, exactly. I am one of those people that am celebrating Disney Plus because I had high hopes for this from the beginning. I'm a little biased. I like Disney. I'm a fan.
We've been talking about this for like 2 years.
It's
anticipating.
Insane. And I love everything about Disney Plus. I'm curious what you think about it. And I've only watched like 3 movies off of it. And I've seen every one of those movies before, but I just love the options. I can't decide what to watch. And there's been an exodus, already numbers reporting of people canceling Netflix and Hulu within 2 days of this launching. Nothing to be alarmed about. I think it's probably people that are canceling anyway, but they're reporting it like Disney Plus. But think about the model. You have Disney, Star Wars, Marvel. You have everything backing up. You have a $7 a month, or you know, $70 a year if you want to go that route, and it's just amazing. And I had no outages. People were like, "What's wrong with my Disney Plus? It's not working." Thankfully, I didn't have any problems with like slow speed. It worked like a charm.
I hated seeing that. It was like, like I was talking to my parents and they were like, I was like, did you get Disney Plus? And of course my dad was like, no, I didn't get it. I was like,
No.
I was like, it's $70 for the year. It's kind of like a no-brainer. And I think if you do the 3-year plan, it comes out to like $7, or no, it comes out to like $3 a month.
Yeah. The yearly plan is $3 a month. I mean, you can't beat that.
And I got up at 6 a.m. on Tuesday because the word on the street was, well, the word on the interwebs was that the Mandalorian show, that Disney Plus Live is going to go, Disney Plus is going to go live at 6 a.m. Eastern, 3 a.m. Eastern, 3 a.m. Pacific. And around like halftime of the Monday Night Football game, they showed a teaser, like a 1-minute clip from the pilot episode of Mandalorian, not like a trailer or anything, but like a 1-minute uninterrupted clip. It ended up being the first minute of the show. And then at midnight, Disney Plus went live. And they didn't tell anyone. And they did that on purpose to avoid probably more crashing. Because you think every app that comes out, when everyone tries to jump on it, it all takes a shit. It's like any new amusement park ride. But the Pirates of the Caribbean don't eat the tourists.
Don't eat the tourists. Yeah, but the Pirates of the Caribbean. I was thinking that before the show we had problems with the my camera, which I've never had a problem with this camera, the webcam but of course it happened when I'm trying to do like an actual video over 2K, and I'm like, well, every amusement park. But then I thought, but this isn't the first time. This is like our 800th episode, so of course it's happening now.
When I tried to sign on, Skype made me give my password. So, of course, I had to reset my password and do all that nonsense.
I love it. Not to crowbar away from Disney Plus, but I did want to share a new tactic in the arsenal of lies that we have amassed over the years that kind of can work if you angle it the right way. And I'll tell you what it is. If you're in a situation where you're at work, let's say, and you're backpedaling on something that's not true or you didn't know, you can always go this funny new route in 2019, and that's you don't want to offend somebody. And I'll give you an example. But you said it was Mike. You said that was in the drawer, and it wasn't. Well, it was, but then I heard that. Never mind. What? I can't say that. It's I don't want to go that route and offend somebody. It's just something I heard. But they can share it with you if they want. But I'm not at liberty to say this because it might offend somebody. Of why I couldn't do that, because I heard something, and or you could put the embarrassment on yourself and be like, why didn't you do this, or what happened? Like, I'll have to talk to you after. It's not something I can say out loud. And then they start feeling bad, and that gives you enough time to craft up a lovely excuse.
I love the one. Could we talk about this alone?
Could we talk
about this in private? the delay, the stall, and then you
yeah.
go, okay, what am I going to say here that's going to make everyone look good and me look good? And it was just this horrible misunderstanding.
Right. But there's always a way, there's always a road to take to get out of that jam, of said jam. Benfer and I, good friend of the show, Benfer and I, we were looking for discarded Indian food out of a dumpster in Fort Wayne, Indiana the other day, and we came across
Fort Wayne.
Phantom Menace, the DVD. So we ate it. But the question for John is, who's a big Star Wars aficionado, a coworker came up to me today. I was saying, did you get Disney Plus? I said, yeah, I did. It's amazing. You can have up to like 10 devices. It's great. And she's like, she's like, my boyfriend got it because of Star Wars, Star Wars and all that. And I was like, oh, that's cool. Do you watch Star Wars? And I'm not a big Star Wars guy. I've seen most of the films, but I'm not like a huge, crazy nut on them. But I'm a fan.
You're not a fan like me, and you're also not like a fanboy.
No, right.
You're not like a crazy person who argues over. We're gonna get into what they were arguing over on day one. Sorry, go on.
Right, exactly. But
I'm not a huge fan. You don't hate it.
Yeah, I like the movies. I watch them. I'll probably watch them all this week now that I have access again, and I enjoy it. It's a fun ride. But they were talking about Star Wars, and she was saying, I've seen the originals. Is that right to say? The originals, the first. I said, yeah, New Hope, Jedi,
Empire.
Empire, and she's like, yeah, I've seen all those. Those are great, but I didn't see the prequels. And I was like, yeah, like Phantom Menace, Revenge of the Sith. She's like, yeah, because I don't think they're really good. I mean, I heard they were bad. Like, what do you think? And then as she's talking, I realized she thinks because I have Disney Plus, I'm in line with her boyfriend's likes of Star Wars, and I'm this huge fan. So I started rolling into it like I've seen every one, and I was like, well, here's what you're missing. Phantom Menace, they kind of went a different route. It was Lucas doing his thing, and it was really bizarre. What you want to do is skip the prequels and jump right to Force Awakens and all that. And like, I know I've seen the movie, so I know enough to bullshit someone that hasn't seen them into thinking I've seen them. But I wasn't even trying to go that route. I was just like, yeah, I've seen them. I enjoy them. And she started talking and asking questions as if I knew. So I was like, I'm not going to let you down. I'm going to defend the franchise in a respectful way that will make you want to see it and decide your own decision. So I feel like I pulled off that feat today, and it was the closest I'll ever get to a spokesperson defending something that they don't know anything about. Like Trump every day.
Right.
Trump, well, it's not what they meant, but you have to reread it. It was great.
You were definitely lying, but not really. It was it was like 80-20.
I did.
Because the sequels, and that's an interesting thing. I would have loved for someone to come up and ask me that question, because there's an actual order that these crazy super fans came up with.
You crafted a chronological lineage.
Well, no, but it's actually like even more out of order, but it kind of tells the story better, and it sucks you in to the story more. So here's the deal. You start off with the original Star Wars, and then Empire Strikes Back. Then you go and you don't even watch Phantom Menace because it's so bad. You can watch the lightsaber duel between Qui-Gon Jinn, Obi-Wan, and Darth Maul. You can watch that because that's spectacular.
It's fantastic. It's great.
Then jump right to Attack of the Clones, which is really rough. Then Revenge of the Sith. Then Return of the Jedi. Then Force Awakens. Then The Last Jedi. And in a month, you'll be able to see The Rise of Skywalker.
Oh.
So you kind of like watch Darth Vader at his worst, and then you go back and you watch him become that, and then you watch him redeem himself. It's interessant.
I'm going to need some Benjamin Moore paint. I'm going to need some double-sided tape. I'm going to go to a neighbor's house and require a use of their hammer, even though I'm my own, because I'm going to need to pull out some extra drywall. And I'm going to need a pressure washer to get rid of the brains that you just exploded all over the wall through the back of my head with that analogy. It's pretty good.
Do you have a hammer?
I do have a hammer. I actually use it more than I would think I needed to. For some reason, I'm always like, hey, Jen, where did I put the hammer?
I know, because I don't have like a tool bench or anything. I have like a smattering of tools. So I woke up at 6 a.m. because I thought that that's when it was going to go live. And I figured not everyone, only the nerds are going to be up with me. So this thing's not going to crash. And it didn't. It didn't. And I fired it up. And as soon as I opened the app, I had that like Disney magic feel immediately.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
everything about the
Jimmy
fucking
Cricket.
presentation, man. Like yeah, just the castle with the Tinkerbell flying over, the
Oh yeah.
music,
Oh,
and just how they have like
all the
they have
feels.
the Disney cartoons, then they have Marvel, then they have Star Wars, then they have Pixar, and it's
Yes.
so simple. And then
It's
you
so good.
scroll down and there's like Disney Channel 90s throwback, you know, and then they
Like
have like
Darkwing Duck. Like
yes, Darkwing
I felt like a kid again. I felt like I was at Disneyland with my parents
Duck.
seeing Snow White in the movie theater at age 7 for the first time. It was magical, and you captured it the best on Instagram when you said "when you wish." Dot dot dot, and you did the Disney
Yes.
Plus logo, and I got it because I was watching that. I didn't watch it
Something
this
about the
it's not
times.
this was a reflection of the times. It doesn't reflect this day, and that's all we need to do. I think everybody can take a page out of Disney's book and do that going forward. You don't need to erase a whole movie scene or something because it was the reflection of the times, and I thought that was really cool. And what was really awesome at Disney Plus is I was watching like some of the old animations last night, like Sleeping Beauty and 101 Dalmatians. Have you seen?
Oh yeah.
They're so good, and anybody I talked to did the same thing. They just went to these old like children's movies that you watch as a kid, but they have the catalogs all the way from Steamboat Willie in the 20s. I mean, it's
Right.
it's like getting a box set of everything Disney, and they just like everything is in here. Um,
Yeah.
and it's not.
They
It's not all in there yet.
That's what's crazy. They don't have everything in there yet. It's like I was saying to Heather
No.
because she was looking for stuff and she's like, "Oh, it's not in here." I was like, "Listen, if you ever have to send 500 emails, maybe try sending 250 first because those 500 might not make it over. You know, like they have to like slowly dump everything that they have over."
Of course. The Sandlot on there, which I said to Marty York, I had like a bit of a fan moment. I messaged him last night, and I Facebooked or tweeted this out, and I said, dude, you're on the front screen of the biggest streaming platform in the world right now. I was like, that's not easy to do, man. That's amazing. He's like, oh yeah, no big deal. It's great. I hope. And I was like, no, it is. I was like, I know the movie's like older and stuff like that, but you're on like the first screen of the biggest platform in the world right now that more people are watching than anything else. I was like, that's like pretty amazing, dude. It was a very surreal moment for me. It was
Do you
really cool.
Do you think it's like the old saying, like you're only as great as your next achievement? Like Marty's like, yes, I'm an icon. Like, I mean, I don't even know if he like understands that. Like, he's an icon of pop culture. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
He's probably one of the most known characters from that movie. You know, like everyone knows
Oh
The
yeah.
Sandlot, but then it's like Squints and
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they're like the two that stand out. It's
But
amazing.
like, I feel like it's like he's like, okay, well, yeah, but where's my next Sandlot?
Right. Where's the next thing?
You
I
know?
think he did allude to. He said, I hope the new show will be coming on there soon, or we'll start filming it soon because that's the network
Oh.
that it's on. And it was a good sign that the Sandlot, which is kind of an odd choice. I didn't even know Disney owned that movie. Was
And
on Disney
nor
Plus,
I.
so that might be a prequel to Disney Plus having the new streaming service of the new or the new season on their streaming service. Because I didn't even know Disney was a Sandlot, so that's pretty cool that they did that. So that was kind of a good sign that maybe if you're not familiar, listeners, Marty York and the Sandlot has been on our show, and the
And
director
viewers.
of the Sandlot and viewers, said that there will be a new Sandlot series. So, and Marty told me in private it was probably going to be on Disney Plus because that's who they were talking to. So I'm hoping that's a sign that we see some Sandlot stuff.
Dude, as of April 11th, 2019, from Variety, again, one of the three few trusted reporters left, uh, the Sandlot series in works at Disney Plus.
There it is. One of
Wow.
the few. Ironically, about that story is there wasn't a lot of, there was no press on the Sandlot reboot after that director saying that, which did get me worried. And some of the guys from the Sandlot, through Marty, he told me that they felt that way too. That the director came out and said, "We're doing the Sandlot series." Nobody knew about it, and he hasn't said anything about it since. But I know they talk to producers and stuff. So I think it's kind of in like a development genesis right now.
Who do you need? What characters do you have to have in this movie
I feel like
for it to work? You know how like
yeah,
there's like specific movies where it's like we wouldn't have been able to make it if it wasn't for this guy joining the cast.
I
Or
feel
or
like
girl.
Patrick Renna, the Hambino needs to be in there.
Good call.
Yeah, needs to be in there, and Squints.
Yeah.
It would help to have the other guys, the Jet, of course, Benny the Jet. They would need, but from what I hear, that guy doesn't really like act anymore. He's an LA fireman, but he's somebody they probably should try to get in there. And of course, the main character,
Smalls.
Smalls.
Yeah,
Yeah,
see, I feel like you don't need Smalls or Benny the Jet. I feel like you need the characters. Like, like
the
the
supporting
movie
guys
was
that you
about
talked about.
Smalls and Benny the Jet, right? You need the bench. Who's the pitcher? I always forget his name. De Nunez.
Yeah,
I think you need him, the black kid.
right.
Sorry. And it would be really cool if Dennis Leary could be part of it.
So
I
good.
think if he was reached out to in some way to have some sort of backing, I feel like he would be like, yeah, this is a
Yeah,
money
I'll do
maker
this.
waiting to happen. Like
Oh yeah,
the market right now that is consuming the most, us.
there, there it is. Yeah,
It's waiting to happen. Follow the lead of Karate Kid.
and Larry is due for like another wave of successes. I mean, he did Brooklyn the Fire Show, which was pretty good.
Rescue me.
Yeah, and
Rescue.
he also does like music and stuff like that. But I feel like Dennis Leary to me, I felt has always been an underrated actor. Because he can act really well. He's really good. He get the range. I mean, he was in The Sandlot. He's in Demolition Man. He can talk very, very quickly without screwing up, and like
Dude, he was
convincing.
like
He,
I didn't watch
he's tremendous.
that show religiously, but I did watch a lot of
Yeah,
episodes and I loved that show, Rescue Me. Every episode I watched, I was
it
like,
was
this
great.
fucking show is awesome.
Yeah,
Um,
it's supportive of like firemen and stuff like that. It's like a good show.
Speaking of like comedic actors who are actually really good actors if they do drama, this movie coming out, Uncut Gems with Adam Sandler. It's a drama. It's not a comedy.
Yeah,
Sandler,
it's going
dude,
to be great.
I think is one of the best actors. Like he's such a good actor, but he always does the fucking thumb up my ass shit,
Yeah, he gets typecast a lot, and ironically, um,
and he
I read
makes
an
it.
article this morning that Sandler was in an interview, and he said that his acting teacher in college told him you need to pick a new profession, like you're never going to make it as an actor, you're horrible. And that, for one, goes to show you how little acting teachers know. And I'm not shitting on acting teachers, but a
Right.
lot of them are just upset they didn't become famous. And they're like, you should do something else.
Does sound
Uh,
familiar?
it's like what's the old saying? Like if you can't make it as it, teach it. It's like why
Yeah.
you have
Those who can't do teach.
yeah, like consultants for your business are usually people that have failed businesses, and they're like, "Well, I know what not to do, so I'll share that wealth." But ironically,
Right. Right.
I think Sandler's underrated too. He just gets put in like the same role
Well, he
a lot
makes the
because that's
same
what he
movie.
does. He
Like
makes the same
he
movie,
always makes this like he's always the same guy, or he's just
right?
always a goofy character.
Yeah,
But
he's
in
goofy.
all those movies that are goofy, in the emotional parts, he's always really good. Like remember in Big Daddy,
Great,
the
makes you
court
cry.
scene? Yeah,
Oh, crying like a little school baby.
every time.
School baby. That's not really a term, but he's really, really good
Hannah
at
goes to school.
he's got yeah, it's kind of baby Hannah. Uh, but his range is really good, and I think basically he's had a deal with Netflix right now. We spoke about this on previous podcastles. He can
Right.
do anything he wants because
Yeah.
as badly rated as a lot of them are, people are eating it up. You know,
I know.
anytime for every person that goes, Adam Sandler's a wash up. That movie sucked. There's like 30 million people that watched it and are talking about it right now. Like he's a brand that works for good for
Well,
whatever you make of it.
think about what he does. It's like gross
Really
toilet.
fantastic.
It's like gross toilet swear humor.
Right.
And teenagers, young kids that consume Netflix, they eat that shit up just like we did 20
Of
years
course.
ago.
Remember 20 years ago, we would watch stuff like Corky Romano, and you're like, this is hilarious, and by today's standards, is awful. But at the time, you're like, no, they were hitting on all cylinders of what like our age group wanted to watch.
I wonder. No, I don't
Yet
think
I
so
wonder.
because I remember watching Ace
Yet I
Ventura in
holds up.
'96, and then yeah, right, and then watching it like 5 years ago and being like, this might be funnier now that I'm
Funnier.
older.
That's a great point.
They're
Ace Ventura.
rebooting. They're rebooting Ace Ventura without Jim Carrey.
Can't do it. Why would you do that? That's like rebooting,
Dude, they're
Air
rebooting
Bud
every.
without a dog.
Dude, I was looking earlier. There's like 126 reboots on the way. Like almost anything you can think of. Did you ever see the movie Cube?
Yeah, I have seen Cube.
Yeah, the rebooting
It's
that.
a,
That I feel could use a reboot. It was so
the
like old.
technology wise.
Yeah, holy shit, it could be
Like
crazy now.
Tron, when they did Tron in 2011, that was due for a reboot because Tron was
Yeah,
like I think it was George Lucas in the 70s,
yeah.
or something like Logan's Run or RoboCop, like these old films, these old sci-fi, Blade Runner, which you kind of need Harrison Ford to make that work. But these old
Didn't they
films
try to
had
do Blade Runner?
yeah, it was really bad,
I heard it was
in my
terrible.
opinion. But like movies that use futuristic technology, like Terminator with the MS-DOS font, and Alien in the spaceship in 300 years from now, where they're still like using a type computer,
Yeah,
doesn't work for the technology.
that's
But
so funny.
interesting enough, Ridley Scott came out this week, and they asked him in an interview. They said, the technology in Alien, it's a great film, but obviously the technology is so dated because it was made in '79 with the computer. And he said that the reason we addressed this in Prometheus, the prequel, because the technology was so much more advanced then. They like, how does that work? They said the space the crew, the manufacturer of the spaceship and Alien, the Nostromo, made the technology so old and obsolete so it couldn't be hacked by like alien civilizations, which obviously wasn't the reason they did. They did because that's where the technology was, but they compensated for it later, which I haven't seen done since, and that's pretty cool.
They fixed the continuity error.
Yes,
That's cool.
they fixed the time capsule conundrum.
That's like how Cap gave Tony the like flip phone in like
Yeah,
2000,
why?
15.
Yeah, the flip phone. Speaking of the flip phones, is that coming back? The old Razor Nokia is coming back. What's happening with that? I feel like
Maybe.
people would like to have them because it's
Uh,
always cool to flip a phone open and talk, but it's just not conducive to anything. You can't have a phone that's not flat anymore. Cutting edge radio,
but let me
but
tell
it's
you
not.
something. I enjoy the flip phone. You know why? There's
Huh,
no butt dialing.
thank you.
It closes it shuts off the ring button, the
See,
call button. It makes it impossible to butt dial.
and it gives more satisfaction if you have to hang up on somebody instead of being like, you know what, screw you.
Yeah, you do feel
Beep.
like you're
You're
like
just like,
more important. When you're
yeah.
like,
I think
so
we need to go back to the phones with the suitcase that you carry from like 1988 and get really old school.
with the curly cord
Not to cut you off,
and the
but
box.
the worst idea for cell phones were the Nextels. Remember the Nextel in like late '90s? But it was like a walkie-talkie, and you're like, you don't
And
need that.
it
That's
like
not.
chirped. It was like, brrr.
I think I knew one person that had it, and it was just a bad idea all around.
I remember when those Nokias first came out. I loved just holding the phone and just flipping it open and closed and open and closed and open and closed and open and closed like a
Or,
psychopath. So
or
there was three besides Taika Waititi and Pedro Pascal in The Mandalorian. There were three other like big names in the show as characters. One of them getting frozen in carbonite. Do you do you know what the term being frozen in carbonite refers to?
yeah, it's when Han Solo got the carbonite frozen in one of the originals.
Right,
I want to
because
say it was I want to say it was Empire Strikes Back.
correct, because there was a
I've done
bounty.
my homework. I've dicked around. I'm not the only guy that's jerked off backstage at Comic Con. I mean, I'm not the only guy that hasn't watched Empire Strikes Back. It's like the second best film of the '80s.
Backstage.
I know,
Um,
right? It's a show backstage.
Jabba the Hutt had a bounty on Han Solo's head, and Darth Vader said, "Let's freeze him and keep him alive, so we'll lure Luke to you." And Boba Fett will collect half the money.
Boba Fett.
Boba Fett is a bounty hunter who kind of like dresses like a Mandalorian, but he's not really one. He just wears the same shit and like uses the same equipment.
Right.
and that's kind of like the story in this show. He's not really a Mandalorian. Carl Weathers, Apollo Creed,
of course,
speaks in Huttese in one scene. That's Jabba the Hutt's language. Nick Nolte. Nick Nolte plays.
I know. I love Nick Nolte. The guy's
Yoda.
so great.
He plays like the Yoda character, and he has easily the catchphrase of the show, "I have spoken." He kind of like will, he'll suggest something, or he'll offer something, or he'll recommend something to the guy, and before the Mandalorian can respond, he'll cut him off with, "I have spoken."
Start using the Mandalorian in your everyday vernacular. Like, yo, John, you're later. Did you pick up the trash? Take up the trash. Take up the trash. Did you take up the trash? Did you get milk? I did, but there's a Mandalorian on the 101. It's just crazy. People don't really question that because they'll find themselves thinking about what the Mandalorian.
Like, it sounds like a few words that I know, but I don't know if I know Mandalorian.
But you could take an encyclopedia, you could research some Wikipedia articles, you could maybe formulate some mathematical equations, and you still can come up with the answer with the question that the world has. John, does the Mandalorian...
Hold on, wait.
Does this mask need to come off? Why is this mask on? We know it's a disfigured face. What's your penis situation on this?
Well, I wanted to also say the third known actor, the third cameo in this was Horatio Sands. He was like this guy that the Mandalorian saves from punks at a bar and ends up freezing him.
Space bar.
He was so annoying, but he led us to the very first appearance of a toilet in the Star Wars universe.
And what does that say? They're humanizing the experience. Space bars, toilets, pretty good.
I haven't. The guy's line was, "Oh, that's better. I haven't had an evacuation since the solstice."
I do admire a good solstice.
So the deal with the mask is, I don't know. That's their thing. They never take it off. They never reveal who they are. They're like Batman, they don't reveal their secret identity. And I mean,
it's pretty cool.
All of the stormtroopers were clones, but save for the first one and the second one. No, save for the original and the first clone. That was Jango and Boba Fett.
Pretty good.
Were killed by Mace Windu and Han Solo.
Very good. Very good.
It's very good. So the first thing you watched was Sandlot?
Sandlot, 101 Dalmatians. No, first thing I watched was 101 Dalmatians.
Really? It's out?
Yeah, it's really good.
Is it with Emma Stone?
No, the original from 1955. I think it was 55.
Oh, the cartoon.
Oh, yeah. It was a big cartoon night for me. I was just watching princesses all night. I love that movie. It's like one of the few Disney movies that really doesn't have any music in it. There's only like 2 songs, and they're quick. It's really dark. It's in London. The animation
is.
I gotta say, Disney, the animation is so. It's not even underrated. They get the praise they deserve. The animation is so good in these old films. Like even Sword in the Stone, where the battle between the wizards and they're changing colors and everything.
They have such weird hands.
Sleeping Beauty, even though that was a flop at the box office, in recent years for releases, it was like it's in the top 30 highest grossing movies of all time. That's like how incredible Disney is, how good they are, how many people watch their shit, even their flops. Like the movie flopped in 1959. It's like number 28 in highest grossing films of all time now because of how many people watch that. And Sleeping Beauty is so good. They have 3D almost. Some of the castle scenes, they blur out the like walls in the foreground and focus in the back. It's like the animation is just incredible. We're talking 1959, not computers, and it's it's amazing.
I thought you were first of all, I thought you were referring to Beauty and the Beast. See, they need to like do something about that. Sleeping Beauty, Beauty and the Beast. It's too close. Beauty and the Beast was like the record holder for number 1 at the box office. It was like 12 weeks in a row, and then it was beaten by Titanic, which will never be beaten. But I don't don't even know Sleeping Beauty other than the cartoon and the three fairies.
Yeah, they're amazing. It's incredible. Such a good story. It's dark.
So you
It's
watched Dalmatians first. I think the first, like, after Mandalorian, I watched Little Mermaid just to see.
yeah.
And dude, again, like you were
That's
saying,
tonight.
they're just great. And whatever they're doing, it's in 4K. Everything's in 4K Dolby atmosphere
Oh,
sound, and it dazzles the peepers. Even
it
Finding
does.
Dory we were watching, that was great. I
It's so
wanted to
good.
see it. Oh, we were watching Toy Story 3 today.
Yeah, I think that might be the best one.
It's mesmerizing. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it's just, they're so good, and I found myself watching Disney Plus and getting that, and I likened it in a weird, different kind of scale to like getting a Super Nintendo or a Nintendo in like 1993 or 91 and being like, this is just this new cool thing I can fuck around with, and it's like exciting. I don't know what it is, but even Jen was, did you get it? Did you get Disney Plus? I said, I got it. She goes, well, what's the password? I'm gonna put it in the office. I'm gonna put it in the room. And then I checked like an hour later and she had like 30 things on her watch list. She's like, I can't believe all this is here. And I was like,
Uh,
I know, it's amazing. Like Tim
yeah,
Sook
dude.
today messaged me and he's like, did you get Disney Plus? I was like, yeah. He's like, I can't believe they have Darkwing Duck. I haven't seen these things in years. I'm like, Disney Plus is giving people our age and John's age, like, well, I'm 23, but John's a little older.
All ages.
No, but all ages, this like invigorating, like, yo, this is all in one spot. We don't have to chase down Netflix and find Hercules or whatever like two Disney films they have on there, or we don't have to go buy it for $8. It's just there.
Hercules.
That's what it is. That's what all those have, like Hulu and all that. They always have like two Disney movies, and it's like the two you don't want to watch, like Pocahontas and Hercules, and you're like, okay, all right.
Yeah, like the 3 or 4 Marvel movies that like they're waiting out their Netflix contracts are the 3 that I've seen like 9 times each. It's like, okay, come on. Um,
Endgame.
uh, it is nothing but a nostalgia dump,
Yeah.
and I compare it to on a much grander level, but I compare it to when the NES Mini came out, and it was like, it was another
Oh,
like down memory lane. Like, holy shit, I can't believe we made this. Like, I'm so proud of us that we like made this
yes.
thing. Like, as humans, like we did it. This is great. This is something that like you talk about with your friends that
Yeah.
they'll never make, and now they made it.
It's exciting.
Dude, we watched
Yeah, now they made it.
my absolute favorite Disney movie of all time, the Disney's Christmas Carol, I believe is the title. I should know the title, but
Oh, a
I
Mickey Christmas Carol?
it would take me forever to find it. You would always it would never be for free. You would always have to buy it, and
Yeah.
it's the Scrooge story where Goofy
Oh.
is Jacob Marley.
Oh, that's my
And,
favorite.
it's the best. It's the best one. Yeah.
Screw.
Yeah,
We
that
we've
one. That
talked
one.
about
Yeah,
that's
we've
on
gone on
there.
and on. Yes, it's on
I
there.
gotta
We
go.
watched it tonight. I
Tweet
know,
us at the
man.
underscore podcast for the gentleman in charge.
Tickets.
But it's so good though. The that's where at the end he goes,
DuckTales.
whose whose spirit, whose lonely grave is this? Like, oh, Ebenezer. That's
Pete.
on there. Wow.
I like
What is
referring to the people, referring to the characters by like their real name. Like, Pete was playing the Ghost of Christmas Death or whatever he was.
right? Right, referred to them as if they're like people. Like, yeah, Duck, Donald really, really killed it. Scrooge McDuck was played by who was Scrooge McDuck played by? It's like the
Scrooge.
was that
Scrooge
his name?
McDuck just played Scrooge.
Oh, that was he was like his own guy.
Yeah, he's like a crossover.
Uh, yeah. I love it though, so good. And
Uh,
seeing all the Disney
Jiminy Cricket.
animation stuff is just incredible. Who's your favorite Disney character? Like of all the cartoon guys, like anywhere from Minnie to like the Hunchback of Notre Dame, anywhere. Who would like your favorite be?
That is a really tough call. Um,
It's tough, right?
I really love Woody.
Yeah.
Basically just because he's Tom Hanks. Um, I mean, as a kid, in like okay, so there's like different eras of characters. Like it just kept expanding. So like as a kid, my first like favorite character was Donald, because I finally was like, wait a second. I know Mickey, but now there's these other people that are around. But I think
So
this guy,
support cast.
I like the troublemaker that kind of has like a complex of like, inferiority. Like he's not the face of the company.
Right.
And so I was a Donald
Works.
fan. And
So
then
good.
and then as Pixar and everything, yeah, I think I would go with Woody. He's so good. He's so kind.
Speaking of Woody, hold on. I want to take down my pants for a second. No, I want to show you something. Hold on.
My favorite is Woody. My favorite. Now though that I'm thinking of like, what about like the genie? The genie's like an amazing character because it's Robin Williams
Tremendous. I'm going to show this in
or
two
Will Smith.
angles right here. I bought a Woody's shirt. I don't know if you can see it with the light, but it's like a Woody dress shirt. It's the shirt that Woody had in Toy Story.
Is it yellow?
No, it's brown. It's the Woody shirt. Yeah, it's yellowish
Oh,
brown, but it's a little
right,
darker. It's not like a burning yellow, but it's the
right.
Woody shirt. But I wear it like to work once in a while, but people have never picked up that it's from Toy Story. So I just wear it like a regular shirt. People are like, "Nice shirt." I don't know what I like about it, but like I like it. I'm like, "Yeah, you can't put your finger on it." And then I
Do you
was
wear jeans and boots and a brown vest and a cowboy hat?
I haven't worn the jeans yet, but
You
I
gotta
think that
try the
might be this
jeans.
week. But I
Try the
did
jeans and like a brown shoe.
I was right, yeah. I was in a store once, and someone goes, "That's the Woody shirt." I was like, "You're the only one. I've worn this like 8 times. You're the only one that's picked this up." Woody's great though. Like you can't not love Woody.
I know. He's just
Just so good.
awesome. The writing and Tom Hanks, obviously, he's my favorite. So, but that's such a complicated question. It's so deep. What about you? Favorite childhood,
It's
favorite
a loaded
adult?
potato.
It's a loaded sandwich.
It's a hot, slicey banana foster. I've always enjoyed Jiminy Cricket. Uh, I always thought he was great.
See, it's just I loved Fievel.
Oh, five. See, I don't know if I don't think Five was Disney though.
He's not
No.
An
I
American
wish he
Tail.
were. I would think he would be, but I think Fievel is like its own thing.
And obviously, and especially if you listen to if you heard us or heard Clark earlier, Pinocchio has a special place in my heart because
Oh,
he's a liar.
he's great. Pinocchio is a good one. I might fire that one up tonight. I'm gonna watch two a night until they're all seen. All the like original animation classics.
I like that dedication.
I'm wondering how they hold up because I haven't
Yeah,
seen
see,
Bambi. I've seen Bambi I think once in my life, and I was like 7, so I don't even know what to expect.
it's very, very dark. I remember Bambi being like horrible, and I don't think I'll show it to Hannah because I don't want to see my daughter cry in a movie. By the way, I just caught a glimpse of myself in the camera. If anyone's wondering why
You look great.
there's dirt on my upper lip. It's No Shave November, and I'm just joining in for the first time ever. I'm gonna try and see if I can get through the whole month with a mustache. Maybe I'll shave it off for Thanksgiving, which is like
No,
the
that's very prominent. I think you should grow it out more for Thanksgiving and style it so you can like get crumbs in there and be like, ho ho ho. I don't know why you're Santa, but I think you should do that. What
pass me
about
the
you?
pumpkin pie.
Are you gonna?
Pass the pumpkin
Are
pie.
you? What are you watching tonight on the Plus? That's what the cool kids call it. We call it the Plus.
Duh. I think it's duh. Oh no, yeah, duh plus.
The Plus.
Duh plus.
The
Uh,
Plus. We're watching
do
the Plus.
you ever watch those videos how it should have ended?
Yes, I have.
Those animated, yeah, they had like
Yeah.
a new one, and it's
Oh.
Batman and Superman, and they're talking about Disney Plus. It's so funny.
Oh, really?
Superman's like, it's duh plus. Batman's like, shut up, don't call it that.
Shut up.
Uh,
Very good.
hmm.
Huh.
I think I'm gonna show Hannah tomorrow Aladdin. That's my favorite. Like that's my
Yeah.
number one like of those
So
of that run from like I don't know when it started through like Beauty and the Beast and Aladdin
oh,
and Lion King and Sleeping Beauty. Maybe that was a little before, but you know what I mean. That like huge run of theirs where they just crushed it
so
at the box
good.
office.
They had that Disney Renaissance from like 1989 to like
Yeah,
97, where like Little Mermaid started it, and
right.
then they did Beauty and the Beast and Aladdin,
Pocahontas,
Pocahontas, Lion King, and like Unstoppable. I found myself last night when I was looking through some of the movies, having ADHD.
Rapunzel.
Oh, Rapunzel, having ADHD and be like, I don't know what to do. But the great thing about those is no matter what you pick, if you're just like, just whatever I close my eyes and click on, it's going to be great. Like it's
Right.
enjoyable. It's just you just jump right into it.
Right.
It's very, very good. It's really it's fantastic.
Did you watch the Lady and the Tramp live action?
No, not yet.
I heard it was
Is it?
horrible.
Yeah, I'm not drawn to it. It just doesn't look
But
real
you
to
know
me.
what else? You know what else, Matt? I also heard it
Probably.
was great.
I'm sure. And I also heard it was sensitive, but
Everything
also daring.
crashed. Everything crashed. What's the fuck? Why isn't it working?
What's going
Because
on?
you're one of 5 million other people saying the same thing. And you did watch. Oh no, you didn't watch the live action 101 Dalmatians, right?
The new one?
Right. I don't think it's out yet. I think it comes out in December with Emma Stone.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Um,
Yeah, I'll watch it. I saw the pretty much all of the live action Disney movies they came out with so far, just to see them.
you have?
Yeah, yeah.
You so
The
you've
last,
seen like Lion
it,
King and
yeah.
Aladdin.
I didn't see Aladdin. I'm sorry, I did
Oh,
not see Aladdin.
I feel like that would be the one that I'll enjoy the most because
I've seen Dumbo. And,
Will Smith.
yeah. I saw Meh, Maleficent. It was Meh,
Oh, you saw that?
Maleficent, Meh, Maleficent,
Ugh.
Meh. It's just Meh.
She's getting ready for Eternals.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Dumbo, I really liked. Um,
Oh, I can't watch it. Too sad.
it is sad. The
Michael
live
Keaton.
action though is pretty good. I thought
It
it was
is
good.
interesting that Michael Keaton and Danny DeVito
Yeah.
are together again on the set of a circus.
And you think about that too, because there's not really references to it, but there's like things they put in there where you're like, yeah, it's Batman Returns. It's the Penguin because he's a
Yeah.
showman. He's a showman, and
Right.
in Batman Returns, he's a showman. He's the ringleader kind of. So
Yes.
in a zoo, and he's in a circus, and yeah, there's little cool things like that. It's juicy. It's really fantastic. Like uh,
Well,
like Captain Planet, the greatest superhero of all time.
tell us what you watched first on Disney Plus. What kind of
Yes.
binge? I like how Clark is going and banging out all the classic animated movies. When did we start calling them animated? I always just called them cartoons. Um,
I prefer cartoons.
I don't know what I want to do because, dude, they have like the
Tough
history
to decide.
of X. Like they have the first thing that was ever made on television or in the movie theater by Marvel,
Yeah,
all the way up to Endgame,
the
like
catalog
and
is
everything
amazing.
in between.
I wonder how the other streaming companies are shitting their pants right now.
I know.
I'm not talking about like Netflix and stuff. Netflix is definitely secure for a few more years because of just the original stuff. But all like the NBC one that's coming out, all of these other streaming services, they're probably like,
Oh
fuck,
yeah,
dude, how can we compete with
Peacock,
this? Why would you get that? Peacock. Like, why? What would make you get the NBC streaming app? Like,
Disney
really?
stock. Disney stock hits a record high after company reports 10 million Disney Plus signups. I don't know why.
Crazy.
See, this is why I feel so stupid because 2 years just went by about you and I talking about how big this is going to be, and I didn't buy one penny in Disney stock. Um,
Well, I did. So long, bitches.
so
Clark,
they're gonna cut
you bought
down
Wisney
on
stock. It's a tissue
the
company. Fuck. Shit.
toilet paper. They're gonna cut down on sharing.
Yeah.
Even though you can, for the price that you're paying right now, it's like $70 for a year. 4 people can watch from 4 different locations.
How else? What else do you need? If you're sharing it to more, that's gonna mess up like your feed history, your
Oh
cache
yeah.
of like
Oh,
suggested.
your
Like
recommendation. Yeah.
you don't want like 80 people logging into your account. Like that's crap, right?
Exactly.
Like
That's
family,
that's
yeah.
stupid.
Jen last night was like, "Yo, can I give this to like my niece and nephew?" And I'm like, let's wait a week and let's see how it plays out with the crashes, and we'll take it from there." Because I don't want like 80 kids logging into my account every night watching, you know, movies and like messing up my suggested. Matt, finish watching Lilo and Stitch. No, I never started it.
Lilo and Stitch.
I'm OCD, man. Totally OCD. I'm all against like having people into my accounts screwing up stuff. You know what I mean? unless
Yeah.
it's like a close family member or like a close friend. Like I give you a Biscardi my passwords in a second. Biscardi has like all my Netflix and stuff, but
Of
when
course.
like family's involved, they're on like different accounts and computers, and people could be ordering shit and screwing up. Like I don't know. I don't want to mess around.
No, yeah. I mean, my phone, I don't want anybody touching my phone because, first of all, at any moment, a text could come flying in from you or Biscardi or one of my maniac friends down here with
Yeah,
God knows what. And no one should see that in my life, but like maybe my brother. Other than
right.
that, I'd be like, yeah, you can't hold this.
Yeah, you can't.
I don't want you to. Yeah, I'll hold it and you can look at this video I want to show you, but you're not holding it.
Yeah, I don't like that. It's scary when someone's like, "Oh, let me see your phone. I gotta take a picture." I was like, "You can do it very, very quickly. Please, God, don't let anything pop up that shouldn't be there."
Now, in I mean, quite a good first move. You know, Netflix comes out, and this is like Netflix doing like I don't know the the rock bottom first move of the match. Boom on the streaming war, and everyone's like, ugh. And then Netflix pops up and signs a deal with Nickelodeon.
Yeah, I read that. They're doing they're teaming up to take down Disney Plus.
Well, I mean, hey, Nickelodeon is like Disney Junior. It's like the TV of Disney.
It's no joke.
You know,
Yeah, Nickelodeon.
they still have a big following. I think. I mean, they have their own Nickelodeon awards. They have their own
Yeah,
award
the
show. Disney
the
doesn't even have that
the,
shit.
the Kids Choice Awards.
Right, Kids Dick
Yeah,
Awards,
yeah, the kids. But
Penis Awards,
yes, naturally.
Penis Awards.
Zing.
That'd be a great thing. But the death of physical media, DVDs. I feel like in next 4 years, Disney will just stop selling anything physical to watch.
Or they'll do it all every few years and open up the vault, and those DVDs will be like $50, and you can get it. Remember, like the VHS cartridges in the '90s?
Or in 5 years, it'll be something completely different that we're all watching shit on. Like, how long will this last? Like, DVD players had like a 20-year run
Yeah.
and
The
then done.
next the next evolution would be holographic 3D projections
Projectors.
out of nowhere. Now I'm not talking about projectors on a wall. I mean
Like,
like projectors that you can just push play and the thing like
like a
throws a
thumb,
screen in the air and you're watching it like anywhere you want.
like
What
Iron
what,
Man.
what else could be next?
No, yeah, I think that's the next step. Or, yeah, it's just on the wall. You don't buy a TV, you buy a projector. That's the next step.
You heard it here first, ladies and
Right.
gentlemen. It
Like,
is 11/13/19. We predicted it.
and I need to scroll back and find out where there's a show where we talk about today, but it was like 2 years ago, where
Yeah.
we're like, Disney's coming out with this thing and it's going to change everything.
Yeah.
And not that they really changed everything, they just shifted everything in like, a major power dick
Right.
thrust.
Do you think are more people talking about this than any other streaming service released? I think so. I mean, they created a conversation. We're doing a whole show about it now. I was talking to like texting friends today that I never really talked to, and they were like, "Did you get Disney Plus?" This is like an exciting thing. I went to work like happy for the first time
Yeah.
in my life, but I went to work like telling people like, "Yo, did you get Disney? It's exciting. Like, you should check it out.
Yeah.
It's like
Everybody
a
that I've
cool thing.
spoken to. I
It's
mean,
amazing."
my buddy McShay was like, I've only seen Iron Man 1, and now I'm going to see everything. And I was like,
Good for
God, I'm
him.
so jealous. Um, but,
Everything.
damn it. Oh, and there's a
Say,
bundle. A bundle that I haven't looked at
Bumbo,
I haven't
let's
looked at
get a date.
I haven't looked at the price yet, but you can get with Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus.
Yes, yeah, I saw that.
I
Yeah,
love it.
yeah.
It's like Hulu. I think Disney owns like 85% of Hulu
I think Disney owns like 85% of the planet.
of entertainment.
Because if you like match up all the companies Disney, there's a chart actually of the companies Disney owns,
Yeah, I wanted
and
to look
it's
that
like
up.
it's incredible. Uh, I'm gonna wrap up the Clark the Shark episode right now and say tweet us at the underscore
Ridiculous.
podcastle, subscribe to the channel below, and Comic-Jon on YouTube. Uh, I love and Bill Maher always at the beginning of the show, every show it goes. And don't forget to subscribe to us on YouTube. It's the only one that goes YouTube. Nobody else says anything.
Well, have a great day, guys. I love you. Bye. Oh, hey. Make sure to like and subscribe and leave a comment and hit the notification bell. And if you're finding me for the first time, I do trailer reaction videos, hot take movie reviews, news briefs on anything Marvel, DC, Star Wars. You'll love it. Thanks.